so far? Okay. Do not know why it shows its slide. Just skip it. Go to the next one. So, now what good it is, you know now which grease can be used. You know now how much for the initial quantity, and you know also how much you should re-lubricate it. But what good does it do? It gives you a good minimum dosing, what is really needed, when in real life you cannot apply it. How much, rule of thumb, when you pump one time with the good old grease gun, how much grease goes inside? How many grams? One time pumping. Rule of thumb.
Hoeveel gram vet had je zo vlot? 10 gram?
2.5, 3 grams, depends on the grease gun, depends on the guy, depends on the back pressure of the machine, but rule of thumb 2.5 to 3 grams. So what good does it do if the tool says it would be the best every 7 days to re-lubricate a little bit when you go? How much do you pump? Just a half stroke? You know, this is very difficult measurement. So what is good is to have a tool to make this minimal re-lubrication in theory also possible in real life. And for this you have automatic dispensers. You have the very simple ones and more sophisticated ones. And I would like to start today with the simple one, which I already heard from your colleagues, you have also something like this in use, which is a standard concept one from us. There are the competitors in the market, the red one, Perma, the blue one, SKF, which is a gas-driven unit. It's very simple. You tell here in how many months this cartridge should empty, switch it on, you put it inside, and then it empties in the month, and then you can align that with the required amount, and then you have a much better minimum dosing. Okay? That works very well, and is a good solution, especially very cost effective. When I tried to sell, when I sold these ones in my previous job also, and the client did not buy, he bought due to 2 reasons he did not buy. One reason was this one pushed only with 5 bars. So if your e-motor pumps back with more than 5 bars, it does not empty. And this one does not give you any feedback if it has enough power, yes or no, to push the grease inside. So if you really should go, mark at a date when you have been watching the last time, then come back another time and check if the piston has moved down, yes or no. And then the gentleman sometimes said, if I have to go anyway to check if the piston is moving, then I can directly do it myself with the grease gun. Yeah? This is one thing. Then the lack of the pressure, 5 bar, is it enough for this machine? You can measure the counter pressure. It's a little bit difficult. That's why often what is done, installed, try and error, can be very expensive. So that is the most of the reason. And the third, which goes with it, you can say inside next replacement. In the ideal world, you write it down and someone has a logbook, write it down, and then you know when next time you have to change it. In the real world, that gets forgotten, and then what happens, the machine runs dry. Okay, so this is often the reason why these ones were not bought, or why these ones also sometimes fail. And Schaeffler listened very careful to this one and developed this solution, so Optime C1, which is an intelligent adapter for this solution. Yeah? Which does what? It is a booster, so it increases the first bar to 10 bars, and 10 bars is for most of the electrical engines in the market enough to push inside. And it gives you a feedback if somehow the line is blocked and cannot empty it because the 10 bars are not enough. Later my colleague will show you how the mesh network works and how you get this information on your mobile phone, but you get later on your phone a feedback, be careful, I cannot empty myself because the counter pressure is too much. And if you program it correctly, it tells you when the cartridge will be empty. So you do not forget it, and it also, one of your technical manager that's also interests him, is you can, of course, save money in stock keeping because you know exactly the dates when something is empty, so you do not have to have the stuff in your warehouse anymore. Yeah? That's a very great solution. It's very simple to use. Put this battery pack inside. I know it looks like a normal one. It's written Vata on it, but it's not a standard battery pack. They're made for us, and they are not welded, but löten. I don't know the English word for this. Löted together, so that it has a performance. Rechargeable batteries do not work. Huh? Solid, yeah, solid, that's the word I'm searching for. And we tried rechargeable ones, we have other ones used, it does not work. The only ones to have for full year, the capacity to supply it with the temperature range we promised is only this package. Okay, so if we get complaints, this one is not working, often has to do that someone tried to save money on the batteries and go to the local store. It does not work, please do not try it. It is really not working. So you put it inside, then you have to pre-fill this inner spindle a little bit so that it does not run dry, install it, and then you can mount it here. That's it. When you program it correctly, that's all what you have to do so that this one communicates and boosts the degrees inside.
Is it called with internet or Bluetooth?
This one is creating a mesh network. So different kind of connection from this one to the gateway. So this one communicates via a mesh network through the gateway.
Yeah.
This gateway has a SIM card inside and sends the data to the cloud. We rent server capacities with Microsoft in Europe.
Yeah.
Then it goes there, and then through that we provide and analyze it and send it to the access either via app or via the web version for your use. This is how it goes. Distance between this one and the gateway depends how many interference, steel walls and things like this. 50 to 100 meters is possible. Rule of thumb 70 is possible. 50 of these ones or these ones for one gateway is working.
Okay, but 50 meters in an open area was.
We have cement plants where we have 100 meters, but the cement plant is one tower to another, there's nothing in between. In construction, in sites where there's metal walls, things is moving, we know 50 to 70 meters is working better, but this is something to find out locally by the guys who install it. Okay, so this makes this very smart, very cost effective, but sometimes you need more smartness, you can make it smart. We know that a lot of our, by the way, we also sell it empty. So you can use the grease which you like locally inside, you can pre-fill it yourself or ask someone to pre-fill it for you to keep on using the grease you have. Nevertheless, we know that we are not the only one in the market, and we know that Flex, Perma, product Flex and SKF with 24 are also in the market, and some clients would like to have the intelligence but do not want to use our concept one because of pricing, because of good relationship, it's working, they do not want to destroy it, they buy packages from the distributor, whatsoever. We know it's like this. So we developed this very simple adapter, can be reused all the time, and you just need to pre-fill it, you can screw it in between, tighten it properly, and then you just can put here inside the Perma or the Perma or the SKF one as well. So you can just buy from us the intelligence if you do not want to buy the rest from us. Just do this one. Okay. Questions so far to this one? Blah, blah, blah. So, we have it, this is called a monopoint lubricator because it has one outlet, C2, C4, C8, 2 outlets, 4 outlets, 8 outlets, can be used for grease, also oil lubrication. This one is, with the Optime C1, is connected to the mesh network. 2, 4 and 8 can be connected to the PLC unit. It is not connected yet to the mesh network. So you cannot check online on our app if it's working or not. Yeah? This is, for example, to get an idea of the size. This is how a C4 unit with 4 outlets, PLC unit connection can look like. Yeah? Often used and sold as a C2 for electrical engines. Bigger ones, you put them in the middle, 2 metal hoses, that's also working. This one is available battery driven and also external power supply. 50 bars, the one with power supply pushes, so that's a lot of pressure to get something into a bearing. Good tools. Questions so far?
Is it only
on your air pressure or
Een afleider.
supply? Wat? Hoe moet je niet mee, man? Er gaat ook spanning op, hè? Niet in binnenzak stoppen.
Ja, tel ze nog maar. Dat gaat goed.
Okay, then I go on. So, then some of you know, might not know, Schaeffler has also its own grease private label greases. What does it mean? We go into the market, we buy grease, put it in our white drums, and resell it to you with a higher price. No, that doesn't work. No, that would be not so smart. No, okay. So seriously, Schaeffler doesn't make its own greases. That's why it's common knowledge, or maybe not. That's why I explained it. So we do not make our grease, but we have the freedom to do something a lot of others do not have. We have the freedom to go into the market and really check. Okay, we would like to have a semi-synthetic grease which is high performing for a good price-performance ratio. And how do you find that out? How do you get this information? Because if you go and Google high performance grease, good quality, everybody says I have a high performance grease to good quality. When you ask, do you have a good price, but does each salesperson answer? Of course my price is good. It's normal. So how do you really know if the price performance ratio quality is good? But the only answer is you have to test it. Feedback from the customers, or you have to test it on your own. If you do it in your own workbenches, in your e-motors, if it's working, it can be very expensive. So what you do, you